Hi, scholars. This is Miss C, and I am so excited to see you today. We are going to read an engagement text and a decodable.
Materials.
Go ahead and put your thinking cap on. Ready? We have 3 new learning targets for today. Our first learning target is using evidence from the text. I can answer questions about the engagement text. Show me the basics, my garden spot. The second learning target is I can read the high frequency words throughout, endure, weave, let's, don't, able, possible, saw, thought, explain, and laughed. The last learning target says I can read the decodable text, my garden spot.
Transition song.
Gather round together, together, together. It's time to hear a story, a story, a story. It's time to hear a story, to say what you've learned.
Read aloud.
Listen carefully as I read. Show me the basics, my garden spot. At the end, I will ask you questions, so make sure you're listening. Sunny days just make you feel good. It seems everything is better when the sun shines. Well, plants like sun too. They need sunshine to grow the best and give you the best vegetables and flowers. This is why picking a nice sunny garden spot is important. Take a walk around your yard and look for spots that have good sunlight, are easy to get water to, and aren't in the way of somebody else trying to have fun in the yard. You also might like to get a spot where people can see it and you can show it off to everybody. Because sunlight is important, you need to find out how much sun the spot you picked gets. This is called exposure. A spot facing south is best. After you pick your garden spot, watch it for a few days to see how much sun it gets. You can do this with a sun chart.
Question and answer.
Now, I'm going to ask you questions about the story I just read. Ready? The first question is, what does the article say about why picking a nice sunny garden spot is important? The story said, plants like sun. They need sun to grow the best and give you the best vegetables and flowers. Here's our next question. What is a sun chart? A sun chart is a sketch of your house and other parts of your yard, marking where the sun hits at different times of the day. Here's our next question. In the article it says, because sunlight is important, you need to find out how much sun the spot you picked gets. This is called exposure. What does exposure mean? Exposure means how much sun a spot gets. Here is our last question. The article says a spot facing south is best. What does facing mean in this sentence? Facing means pointing or looking towards. Great work making it through this section, friends.
Word work.
It's time for us to look at some high frequency words and add them to our snap or trap chart. Remember, we will put words that play fair or follow rules that we know in the snap column, and words that do not play fair or are not spelled as we would expect in the trap column. Here we go. Throughout. In this word, we see the spelling pattern, O-U-G-H. This is a tricky pattern that sounds different in different words. This word throughout doesn't play fair. It goes in the trap column. Let's. This word has sounds I expect to hear in a closed syllable. So let's is a snap word. Endure. This is a tricky word. I see the vowel team O-O, which should sound like ooh, but I hear the sound or. For this reason, endure goes in the trap column. Possible. I hear 3 syllables in this word. First, there is a closed syllable, P-O-S, which sounds just like I expected, pos. Next, we have the syllable sip, followed by o. Possible is a snap word. Explain. In this word, I hear the long A sound, A, at the end. And I see a spelling pattern I know for this sound, A-I. Let's put explain in the snap column. Last one, weave. This word has the letters W-E and has the contraction V-E, which sounds the way we would expect it to sound. Weave is a snap word.
Fluency.
Now we read our decodable reader for this week, My Garden Spot. Try to remember these high-frequency words and, as we read together, jump up every time you hear one. The words are throughout, let's, endure, possible, explain, and weave. Watch for the blue underlines to help you know when to jump. Here we go. Dad walked into the kitchen. He saw Sam scribbling on some paper. "What are you drawing, Sam?" asked Dad. "A sun chart," Sam replied. We've been learning about gardens at school. I know it's impossible for us to have a garden because we don't have a yard. So I'm planning an indoor garden, Sam explained. As you can see, we had a few high-frequency words. Starting from the top, we have weave, possible, indoor, and explained. Make sure you jump every time you hear a high-frequency word and use the blue line to help you. Plants need sun to grow, so I made this chart to keep track of when the sun shines through each window throughout the day. That way, I'll know the best place to put the garden. Sam showed Dad the chart. We had one high-frequency word, throughout. It looks like the kitchen will be the best spot. It gets sunshine in the morning and afternoon, and it faces south, which means it gets bright sunlight, said Dad. Sam and Dad went to the local garden center to buy some plants, plant food, a watering can, and potting soil. They chose a lavender plant with little purple flowers and a spider plant with long, thin leaves. As soon as they got home, Sam carefully put the plants on the table next to the kitchen window. He filled the watering can and sprinkled them with water. He made sure they were sitting at the right angle so they would get plenty of sunshine. Maybe we can grow some vegetables next, and a sunflower. And, Dad stopped Sam. Let's see how we do with just 2. Then we'll decide if we can handle any more plants in our wonderful little apartment garden, said Dad with a smile.
Closing reflection.
Which high-frequency words were not tricky for you to read? Which were tricky for you to read? You did a great job reading today. Keep working on your fluency while you're reading, and I can't wait to see you next time.